Welcome to All In for Estacada Schools. Joined by School Superintendent Ryan Carpenter, we'll be taking an in-depth look into the work, the data, the wins, and the fun that's happening every day in the Estacada School District.
Hey, happy Monday, and thanks for jumping all in with me in Estacada Schools this week. This is a great podcast committed to diving deeper into the why behind the Estacada School District, and I'm very excited to get this thing started today. So what's that question?
What has been your favorite win that you've seen come out of implementing our strategic plan?
Strategic plan this week. Going to be a great week. So my favorite win of our strategic plan is the simple fact that the Estacada School District is now collecting wins. For so long, we as a school district and many other school districts, sadly, do a lot of different things, and they never take the time to look at the data to ensure or verify that those changes actually made the desired impact. And they also never take time to celebrate the wins that happened inside that change. So one of the greatest things that I've had a great opportunity to witness through this strategic plan is that the Estacada School District takes time to harvest and collect its wins so that we can tell our story and the great things that are happening inside your school district while we march at 10,000 miles an hour to try to make sure that your child or your grandchild has all of the opportunities provided to them inside our great school district. So collecting wins is our win, that is for sure.
Here's a new segment called the Lightning Round. All the questions you never had about your superintendent.
So apparently we're starting a new segment where I get grilled with a bunch of random questions. So without further ado, I guess let's get this over with.
All right. What car did you drive growing up?
I drove a 1982 Honda Accord was my first car. It was my parents' car, so it was a hand-me-down. By the way, was born in 1982, so I literally was born in this car. I guess I wasn't born in the car, but I literally grew up with this car. So when I turned 16, it was the car that was given to me. It was a stick shift, and it was wonderful, and her name was Rhonda the Honda.
Next question. Do you prefer a call or text?
I am 120% a text person. I prefer text to everything. In fact, it doesn't matter if it's work and or family members, even those closest to my inner circle. If they call, I will screen it and hope that they will text me later. Texting is the way to go. If you call and leave a voicemail, I will text you back. I really love texting.
Are you an indoor or outdoor person?
I am without a doubt an outdoor person, and every free moment I get, I want to try to be outdoors as much as possible. If that's working out on the yard and or hunting and fishing out on Oregon's great public lands, that's where I prefer to be. Mark me as an outdoor person.
Dogs or cats?
So the Carpenter family currently has a funny farm where we have dogs and cats and pigeons and chickens and hamsters. I'm sure there are many families like that out here in Estacada who can relate to me. If I had a choice, it's definitely dogs. I love to upland bird hunt when I have chances and opportunities, and I like to raise and train bird hunting dogs. So I'm definitely a dog guy and born and raised a dog guy, but have inherited cats through marriage.
What is your biggest fear?
My biggest fear is heights. I am paralyzed when it comes to really getting myself any higher than 10 feet at all. I've always been afraid of heights, roller coasters. I've had to interrupt poor Ferris wheel rides in the middle of them to get me off of them. I just can't do heights at all. So I'm thankful that the school district has one-story buildings, which allows me to function effectively and efficiently. So my biggest fear is, without a doubt, heights. You will not see me on a ledge near you anytime soon.
Hot Topics.
So in this week's Hot Topic, I really want to move us back to the vehicle that drives our school district, and that is the strategic plan. Our strategic plan was created 3 years ago now by our community. Remember, the Estacada School District is a public school district that is designed to reflect its community as it offers a high level education opportunities to its community and educates its community. And so this strategic plan is the driver. It is what the school board ultimately adopts, which is created by the community, and the superintendent is hired to execute the strategic plan. That is my primary function as your superintendent. So before I share with you the progress of our current strategic plan, I think it's important to talk about Estacada's history with strategic plans. I've been employed by this school district as a teacher, as a principal, athletic director, and now superintendent for just a little over 12 years. And by the way, time flies when you're having fun. Estacada is such an awesome school district, and it's been a privilege to be a part of it for the last 12 years. But in my first 2 or 3 years, when I came to this school district as a teacher, the Estacada School District did not have a strategic plan. And so we were kind of a big ship, just drifting freely in a very big ocean. We were chasing very shiny objects. We didn't really know what we stood for or what we were going to do to get there. It's nothing against the people. We had great people. Estacada has always had great people, great educators, and great leaders. We just never had a driving force or a focused plan that allowed us to align all of our arrows to point in one specific direction. My predecessor, Superintendent Marla Stevenson, was the first to bring in a strategic plan for our school district, and it was from the direction of the current school board at that time, who was chaired by School Board Chair and Director Rick Madreau. And it was during this time when the Estacada School District heavily engaged its community to create its first ever 5-year strategic plan. And it was a great plan that encompassed the voices of hundreds of our community members and employees and students. And we built a great plan with a strong mission statement and very robust and complex actions and strategies to execute. Now, when we finished that first ever 5-year strategic plan, one of the things that was difficult is as our community asked us, how did that go? It was very difficult for us to be able to specifically pinpoint, had we done what we did, and what steps and strategies did we take to get there? We just had no specific data to go back and correlate if we were successful or not. Now, that being said, it's very important. You've got to get started somewhere, right? And so I'm just excited that we decided to jump on the horse or the wagon of getting a strategic plan started, and we wouldn't have been able to realize any of these actions had we not engaged in the journey of our first strategic plan. So as we adopted our second strategic plan, which is in year 3 of what we're doing right now. So we're currently in our second strategic plan. We have made an effort to do a much more intentional job of collecting the data to see if the changes we are making and the actions we are executing is in fact making the desired impact of what we had intended to do and what the community wants its schools to be. We're also being extremely intentional of collecting the voice of our parents and our employees to ensure that our school district is a best place to work so that we can recruit and retain top talent educators into our community, and asking our parents what their experience is like so that they can be proud to send their children to the Estacada School District inside that process. We're also collecting our wins and telling our story throughout this journey so that when it comes time again for us to report out how the Estacada School District did in its 5-year strategic plan, that we can say we were successful in this, and here is the evidence to prove it, or that we were unsuccessful in this, and here's the evidence to determine why. We're also utilizing this strategic plan to be way more transparent about our finances. And so we're now tracking things like a return on investment to make sure that the public money that we're investing into different things is in fact correlating to higher student outcomes. And so it's through this process and through this strategic plan and our history of our strategic plan that allows us to be where we're at today. So if you're new to this community and you want to know a little bit more about our strategic plan, you can access our strategic plan on our website, either in the superintendent's page or in the school board's page, or we have our own strategic plan page there. So there's numerous different areas where you can see our plan and how it's going so far. But you can also rest assured that the Estacada School District is intensely focused on its strategic plan, and our organization is moving in one direction to achieve the desired results and outcomes of that strategic plan, which was created by our community, approved by our school board, and ultimately my responsibility to execute for you. So how is our current strategic plan going? We have 5 pillars inside that strategic plan. The first is student success. The second pillar is a strong, inclusive, and collaborative culture. The third pillar is engaged families and community. The fourth pillar is up-to-date buildings and facilities. And the fifth pillar is sustainable finances and accountability. We just finished a 90-day improvement cycle of all 5 pillars, and I'm excited to share with you that the Estacada School District is well on its way to executing the mission, the vision, and the values of our school district. So let's start with student success. Last year was an extremely challenging year for our students and our educators as we tried to offer robust opportunities inside a pandemic. Comprehensive distance learning, hybrid schools, and in person. You all remember the transitions we did together. It was our goal during that time for 80% of all K-12 students to meet proficient requirements in every single essential learning standard inside our school district. Our teachers worked hard, in fact, around the clock in most cases. Our principals just worked tirelessly to limit the barriers and allow access for all kids to have these high achievements. And at the end of that school year, the most challenging school year we have ever faced in our lifetime, 72% of our students demonstrated proficiency in all essential learning standards. So we fell short of our goal by 8%. But what we learned, because we collected the data from this journey, allows us to be more surgical as students report back to school this year in person. And it allows us to work quickly and more efficiently to close gaps that may have occurred from the last school year. And 72% is still pretty gosh dang close to our goal that we wanted to do last year. We really try to collect voice in our strong, inclusive, and collaborative culture. And we listen to our employees, we listen to our students, and we are deeply committed to service, good quality customer service inside our school district. That's a change that we're really focused on over the last 3 years in our strategic plan. So how is our employee engagement? It was our goal in the last 90 days to improve our overall score because our employees rate the Estacada School District and what it's like to work here and their engagement and pride of working inside the Estacada School District. Out of a 5-point scale in the fall during the wildfires, the Estacada School District scored a 4.12 out of 5. The employees scored it. Our goal over the course of the 90 days was to raise that to a 4.17. The good news is through the course of time and through some great intentional continuous improvement work, the Estacada School District's employees scored the Estacada School District a 4.18. So we met our strategic plan goal for those 90 days. Students scored the Estacada School District a 3.98 out of 5 in that engagement survey. At the beginning of the year, during the wildfire, during the transitions, our teachers, our support staff, our principals, our district leaders worked so hard to engage our kids during such a challenging and tough time. And I'm pleased to report that kids scored the Estacada School District an improvement of 0.03 to a 4.02. And so ultimately, we met our goal, and I'm so proud to see us moving in the right direction there. We were also committed to quality customer service to both the parent and to the leaders in whom the district office serves. The leaders of the Estacada School District scored the district a 4.21 out of 5 when it came to overall service. So that's the district office serving the leaders who are serving the employees, or the district office serving the leaders who are serving our parents and families. Over the course of 90 days, that service score continued to grow to a 4.36, a 0.10 increase, something we're extremely excited about to see our service continue to grow. Quality service is so important, and we're so excited to see growth in this area. So student success, we fell just short of our strategic plan goal for the last 90 days. Strong, inclusive, collaborative culture, pillar number 2, we exceeded our goal over the last 90 days, and I'm excited to watch that continue to grow. Our third pillar is engaged families and communities. This is our parents, and ultimately we care deeply about parent satisfaction of the school district that they're sending their children to. At the beginning of the school year in 2020, September of 2020, the parents scored its Estacada School District, or its schools, as a 3.83 out of a 5-point scale, 3.83. So our goal was to improve that by a 0.05 score, and I'm proud to announce that we exceeded that, and parents now score its school district at a 3.97 out of 5. So again, we met our goal threshold. And so inch by inch, 90 days by 90 days, we're continuing to improve and achieve those desired results of our strategic plan. Up-to-date buildings and facilities. In this pandemic, we wanted our employees and our students to feel safe while inside our school district. We worked very hard. Our custodians worked extremely hard to keep our buildings clean and continuously desanitizing and fogging every single area that had people inside of it. The students scored "My School is Clean" in the student engagement survey to a 3.5 out of 5 in the fall. We increased that score to a 4.04, a tremendous gain inside our work together. And so I'm very pleased that we again can mark this pillar green for growth inside the strategic plan. And lastly, in the sustainable finance and accountability pillar, there are 2 goals that we have as a school district to improve. The first is to have 0 findings inside our annual audit, and that the employee engagement survey, the question, the superintendent manages the district finances effectively. Again, communicating what we're investing in and tracking its return on investment. So the good news is, yet again, for the 3rd year in a row, the Estacada School District has had 0 findings in its annual audit. That's awesome and celebratory, and that should tell you that the Estacada School District is doing healthy things with its taxpayer finances. That's a good thing. And secondly, the employees scored the Estacada superintendent manages district finances effectively was a 3.85. A 3.81 in the fall. That has increased to a 3.96. So double-digit gains from our employees and the work that's being done financially inside our school district. So I know that this is long and arduous, but that's why you're a part of this podcast, because you're one that wants to dive deep. And I'm here to tell you in a nutshell, or in as quick but complex way that I can tell you, with our current strategic plan, the Estacada School District is in a positive trajectory towards accomplishing its outcomes. And I now have the data to verify that for our community. And I'm excited to go and have a lot of conversations in person with our community, our stakeholders, and our business owners to let them know just how the Estacada School District is doing through its strategic plan. So that's our hot topic today. I know it's a long one and complex one, and only the devoted can hang in there with me as we talk about the strategic plan. But in short, the Estacada School District is doing great. Our trajectory is strong. Our upside is looking really well, and we continue to recruit and retain best place to work talent of our employees, and our parents continue to be more and more satisfied. Couldn't be a better time to be inside our school district. Just want to thank everyone for tuning in to this week's episode of All In for Estacada Schools. Again, as we dig deep into our strategic plan, that is the most important document that drives our school district. So if you want to know what we're about, why we're doing the things we're doing, or what we stand for, I encourage you to access our strategic plan on the website so you too can be as informed as possible about the direction the Estacada School District is headed. Thanks for tuning in. I hope you had fun, and we'll see you next week. As I always say, this could not be a better time to live inside the Estacada School District. Have a great week.